It started.
All right, and we are live on YouTube, and we're going to start recording on our screen here.
Is that better, guys? Actually,
Yes.
Sounds much, much better.
yeah, it was picking up through my speakers on my computer.
All
There
right,
we go.
welcome to our reading of Dracula, our third sort of spooky movie for the month of October. We're going to start with some brief introductions and then jump right into the script, which I think is going to be kind of long. So let's go ahead and start with Aubrey.
Hi,
Who you are, where you're at, and where we can find you.
I am Aubrey McCoy. I will be playing the titular role of Dracula, which is fantastic. I'm in California, and you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and on the YouTubes. If you look for my name, you'll find me. I'm kind of all over the place.
All right, and Vicky.
Hello, I'm Vicky Dykes. I'm an actress from Central Alberta. I live in Penhold, but most of my acting is in Red Deer. Tonight, I will be reading Mina, Elizabeth, Dr. John Jack Seward, and a couple of other characters, narrator, and you can find me on Instagram. I'm Yoga Grandma 10, and I'm on Facebook under the name Vicky Dykes.
Awesome. Jackson, let's go to you.
Hello, I'm Jackson Gray. You can find me on basically anything with that. I'm in Central Alberta. I do most of my acting all around. And yeah, I think that. Oh, and I'm playing Jonathan Harker today.
All right, and some smaller parts.
Yes, and some other parts.
Okay, Padmini.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Padmini. I live in New Providence, New Jersey. And yes, you can find me under Padmini Sukumaran on Facebook and Biblioglam Drama on Instagram. And the parts that I'm playing today, I'm so delighted to be playing Lucy. And then also it's good to be playing the role of a gypsy. I think there's a gypsy within me. The middle bride, the first male, and Renfield, first mate, Renfield, and Stefan.
All right. And I am your host this evening, Kat Wilson, she, her pronouns, and I live in Gig Harbor, Washington. Tonight I'll be reading the parts of Van Helsing and Holman if we get that far, and Romany and Captain. And I'll be starting off with the actions and descriptions this evening, and then probably alternate off to Padmini and Vicky at some point. You can find me when I'm not here. You can find me reading with Two Households in Fair Corona on some Saturdays. So that's a Shakespeare reading group. All right, let's go ahead and share our screen and get our script up here. Let me find it.
Did Aubrey introduce herself?
Yes, Aubrey went first.
Okay.
I did.
And let me get actually let's get back to page 1. That would be helpful. And let's make this a little larger. Oh, why am I hearing a feedback?
I don't know. I did. Now I can hear myself.
All right, I think I picked.
No, I can't. Okay, awesome.
Okay. Let me get out of this one though and into this one. And I'm gonna make this larger. Hang on. You get a preview of the middle of the screen here. Is that too big?
No.
All right.
I can't see actual words, so I'm not sure.
Here, try that. It's a little blurry on the words. It's an old typewriter.
Oh.
Can you see those words?
No, I'm seeing the Dracula poster.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. I thought that's where you were at. You were talking about because I didn't see it.
All right. So there are words there. Do you see that?
No.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me stop sharing and let's figure that out again. All right. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Happens to us all, apparently. Oh, that's what I did. Let's try this one. How about that? Do you see that?
It's still sharing. There we go. Up, there we go.
Yes.
It.
You see words now?
Yes, we do.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to scroll back up to the poster
Okay.
here.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, that's much better.
All right. So we're going to start with Bram Stoker's Dracula, a Francis Ford Coppola film from Columbia Pictures, a second draft written April 16th, 1991.
Wow.
Dracula are, oh my gosh, I can't even read that word.
Aold, Eodolin, Edelin.
He is huge and we admire his size. Strong and we admire his strength. He moves with the confidence of a creature that has energy, power, and will. We need only to look a little to see how tempting it is to make the choice he makes. Available immortality. He is collected on the Devil's Bargain, the infinitely stopped moment. Dr. Leonard Woolf, author and friend, A Dream of Dracula and the annotated Dracula. Dracula. Exterior, Transylvania battleground, full moon night.
June 1462. Muslim Turks, led by Sultan Mohammed, have driven the Christians from Constantinople and invaded Romania with a superior force, threatening all Christendom. A Romanian prince from the region of Transylvania, Vladimir Dracula, military genius, notorious throughout Eastern Europe for his bloodthirsty ways, leads 7,000 of his countrymen in a bold pre-dawn sneak attack against 30,000 Turks as a last heroic attempt to save his homeland.
A jagged rock formation. We hear the sounds of battle. Thundering horses, clash of steel, men yelling, dying. Turkish lancers charge amid smoke and flames. A lone warrior prince wields his sword against them, his face hidden in a helmet fashioned from a great wolf's head. The prince upends a Turkish lancer with a slash. He ducks another, jerking the lance in the rider's grasp. He wheels, impaling the man, tossing him like hay. Smoke swirls away behind the warrior, revealing a horrifying sight. Turks, hundreds, impaled on spikes into the distance. Turkish attackers falter dead in their tracks, reviled by the sight of their dead comrades. They retreat. Stefan, a Moldovan prince, rides up with two warriors.
Prince Dracula, the Turks are falling back. They retreat. Sultan Muhammad is defeated.
Prince Dracula removes his wolf helmet. Stallion black hair falls about his shoulders. Young, handsome, deep, piercing blue eyes of an angel capture us. He kneels, kissing his crucifix.
God be praised. I am victorious. Let this be a message to all enemies of the cross of Christ.
He viciously skewers the wounded lancer, begging for his life, and hoists him before the field of impaled Turks.
I beg you, my prince, haven't enough died this day?
Anguish cries echo around them. Wolves howl in the distance, on the scent. Dracula stares at the fresh blood on his hands. A horrible premonition seizes him.
Elizabeth.
He leaps astride a riderless black stallion, rearing away. Exterior, Castle Dracula dawn. A mountain fortress in the Carpathian Alps overlooking the Argus River. A serpentine road is lined with impaled corpses. Dracula thunders by in the foreground. Interior castle courtyard, continuing. Praying monks fall back as Prince Dracula dismounts, racing into the chapel. A final, grotesque victim hangs impaled by the door. Interior castle chapel, tight on Elizabeth. Her regal, lifeless body, twisted and bent beneath a great stone dragon arch before a shrine of the crucifixion. Note. Reference golden coin ritual per FFC. Prince Dracula crumbles prostrate over her. The warrior in him fails, kissing, caressing, willing her back to life. Cesare, an elder monk, tries to comfort him.
A message came on the shaft of a Turkish arrow, reporting you among the dead. We could not console her. She threw herself from the parapet, and her last words.
Cesare hands Dracula a blood-stained parchment.
My prince is feared dead. All is lost without him. I would rather my body rot and be consumed by the fish of the Argies than fall captured by the Turks. May God unite us in heaven.
He kisses her blood-stained mouth, convulsing in his pain.
She has taken her own life, my son. Her soul could not be saved. It is God's law.
Dracula cries out, a dying animal, lashing the crucifixion with his sword. He dumps the font of holy water, washing Elizabeth's blood across the floor.
Sacrilege! Do not turn your back on Christ.
Dracula bends Cesare's wrists in his powerful grip, snapping bones. The crucifix falls to the bloody floor.
I, Dracula, the bully of Transylvania, turn my back on God, and all you hypocrites who feed off him. My beloved burns in hell, so shall I. I will arise from my own death to avenge hers with all the powers of darkness.
He raises a communion goblet through the bloody holy water, raising it high.
Devil! Warlock! Beskir he!
The blood is the life, and it shall be mine.
Cradling Elizabeth, he drinks the rush of fresh life. We fade out. We fade into the exterior of Hillingham Estate, about 1898, overlooking London and the Thames. A stone bench and family cemetery mark the highest point. We begin a diary entry, typed on an early typewriter. Super on Mina Murray's diary, 9 May, Hillingham Manor.
9th of May. I arrived today at Hillingham, where I shall be staying with Lucy for some weeks until Jonathan and I are married. I have longed to be with her, where we can talk together freely and build our castles in the air. The life of an assistant schoolmistress is sometimes trying, and I have been working very hard lately. I shall keep a diary, a sort of journal, which I can write in whenever I feel inclined, as I see lady journalists do. I do not suppose there will be much of interest to other people, but it is not intended for them.
Exterior Hillingham House, Lucy's balcony, day.
Oh, how disgustingly awful!
The typing keys jam. Mina's eyes drift to Sir Richard Burton's Arabian Nights open beside her.
Mina?
Mina turns. We see her face for the first time. Age 20. She evokes the very image of Elizabeth. Her schoolmistress attire designed to prevent any sensuality from escaping. Lucy Westenra opens the balcony doors, as if making a grand entrance into a ballroom filled with royalty. 19. Rich, spoiled, coquettish, and blonde. Everything Mina is not.
Oh, you prude. Is your ambitious John Harker forcing you to learn that ridiculous machine? When he could be forcing you to perform unspeakable acts of desperate passion on the parlor floor?
Lucy, really, you shouldn't talk about my fiance in such a way. There's more to marriage than carnal pleasures.
Mina stands. The concealed book falls to the floor, opening wide to an erotic etching.
Oh, I see. Much, much more.
They burst into titillating laughter. Lucy picks up the book, both breathlessly fanning pages to another etching.
Ah, he's so appallingly huge.
They come much bigger.
She indicates 10 inches with her hands. Mina is aghast.
Can a man and woman really do such things?
I did only last night.
Lucy poses the sex position in the etching. Mina flushes.
In my dreams. I almost forgot. I'm bursting with news.
Interior parlor, point of view through the keyhole. A handsome young man turns a wide-brimmed hat nervously in his hands. Western boots. A beaded American Indian vest flashes under his waistcoat.
What is that?
Interior hallway, Lucy and Mina continuing action.
A Texan.
Mina gawks through the keyhole. Lucy langers.
Quincy Morris. He's so young and fresh. Oh, Mina, he's like a wild stallion between my legs.
You're positively immoral.
Mm-hmm. He just proposed.
Should I dare ask what?
Marriage. That makes 2 proposals in one day. I'm hoping for 3. I am so happy I don't know what to do with myself. Oh, Mina, I hope there's enough of me to share.
She giggles the coquette, primping in the hall mirror. Mina tends Lucy's hair, burning with jealousy.
Who was number 1? That tall, curly-haired man at the concert?
That gentleman is secret number 3. Dr. John Seward is number 1. He would just do for you if you were not already engaged. He has an immense lunatic asylum all under his own care.
Lunatics? And you thought of me? Well, you can't marry all 3.
Why not? Why can't a girl marry 3 men or as many as want her? So uncivilized.
Lucy, Lysandra, you are a horrid flirt.
I just know what men desire. They're just little boys. They'll do just anything for a sweet candy kiss and a ride on your merry-go-round.
Lucy enters to her Texan. Mina steadies the mirror.
If I were a man, I know what I would do to make a girl love me.
The allure of the keyhole is too great. She steals a peek. Mina's point of view through the keyhole, Lucy and Quincy.
Please, let me touch it. It's so big.
Giddy, she reaches for his crotch and pulls out his big Bowie knife, and she fondles it seductively.
Quincy, you are so very sweet and dear. But there's someone else I love.
Accepting defeat, he extends his hand. Lucy kisses it, tugging him to her neck, her breast. He drops his hat. Aubrey?
Miss Mary?
Resume in the hallway, a servant approaches.
Mr. Jonathan Harker is calling to see you.
Mina rises, embarrassed. She hurries away. The servant waits, and then sneaks a peek through the keyhole. Exterior Hillingham grounds, day. Peacocks roam, screeching mating cries. Jonathan Harker greets Mina at a stone bench overlooking the Thames. 24, wildly ambitious, upwardly mobile, a Victorian yuppie. He whirls her scattering peacocks, and they kiss.
Jonathan, I didn't expect you here. Are you drunk in the middle of the day?
And why not? I'll just buy you an estate just like Hillingham someday. Perhaps you'd fancy a castle. Why should you be the poor schoolmistress that just visits her erotic friends? You could forget typing and teaching and all that forever.
You are drunk.
With success, Mina. I done it. You happen to be engaged to a future partner in a firm of Hawkins and Tompkins.
Mina flings herself into his arms. She swells, caressing his neck with a long peacock feather, down his chest to his thigh, mimicking Lucy's teasing ways. Aroused, Harker controls himself.
Oh, our fortune is made. Renfield is too ill to work. He finally lost his greedy mind. I'm being upend to his position. His accounts are mine. It won't be official until I return. I'm off to erotic Eastern Europe.
Leaving now?
I'll only be gone for a few weeks. This wealthy count is acquiring the 10 estates around London, and money is no object. Extraordinarily. Can you imagine the power that sorts of wealth commands? Yours truly is being sent to close a transaction. Royalty, Mina. Think of it.
Harker swells at the idea of rubbing shoulders with royalty. Mina strokes him, competing for his affections.
I'm thinking about our wedding, John.
Oh, Mina, this is the opportunity that comes once in a life. Cap Durem. Size the day, Mina. We can be married when I return. A grand, expensive one that will be the talk of London.
Of course. We've waited this long, haven't we?
He takes her in his arms, bracing her up.
There is not another woman on earth could hold a wick to you. I do so what to give you the finer things like Lucy and her fancy friends. That is what you want.
I just want to be happy.
Well, we will be. I know what's best, Mina, for both of us. Don't worry. These sapphire eyes on yours, I'll write.
Mina kisses him like never before, aroused, desperate.
Oh, Jonathan, oh, I love you.
Mina watches him hurry to his coach. There's a finality to this moment, as if nothing will ever be the same. Interior tunnel, pitch dark, stock footage, a light at the end. The Orient Express blasts into day. Exterior of the Orient Express at a coach window, Harker, superimposed on John Harker's journal.
3rd May. Budapest. Left Budapest early this morning. Train was an hour late. The impression I had was that we were leaving the West and entering the East. The most splendid of bridges over the Danube took us among the traditions of Turkish rule.
Exterior Orient Express day, streaming over the Danube across, oh boy, Sheni's Great Bridge.
The distance I am to enter is in the extreme east of the country, just on the border of 3 states: Transylvania, Moldavia, and Bulgaria. In the midst of the Carpathian Mountains, one of the wildest and least known portions of Europe.
Exterior Transylvania frontier day. Harker travels in a coach, taking in the magnificent Carpathian Mountains as he reads a letter.
My friend, welcome to Carpathians. I trust that your journey from London has been a happy one, that you will enjoy your stay in my beautiful land. I am anxiously expecting you, that the Borgo Pass, my carriage will wait you and will bring you to me, your friend, Dracula.
Interior coach day. Harker folds a letter from Dracula into his journal. 2 gypsy peasant women and a Russian merchant sit opposite him, staring. Harker stares back.
Do you speak English?
Silence. Exterior threatening skies late afternoon. Thunder rolls over jagged mountains. Exterior the Carpathians, Borgo Road, night. Thunder cracks. The Slavic driver whips his horses. Interior coach, traveling, night. The passengers sleep uneasily. Tight on Mina on a photo plate. A travel frame. Harker, exhausted, steadies her smile as he strokes himself with the peacock feather she gave him, alone with the erotic thoughts of her. He looks up, caught. The women and the merchant are awake. One of the women jabs a strange two-fingered sign at him.
Vasalos? What is it, this?
Monifica, a charm against evil.
Thunder cracks. The coach suddenly stops. The merchant checks his watch, anxious.
Why do we stop here?
Exterior Borgo Road night. The Slavic driver answers in Romany as he lights the coach lamps. The passengers are at once fearful, spattering in different languages. The peasant woman makes a strange sign again at Harker. Harker climbs out. It is snowing. He stretches, steadying a roadside shrine, Christ nailed to the cross. But the head is a great wolf.
There is no carriage here. English is not expected.
Exterior ridge at night. Paws race along the ridge above. Wolves gather, watching Harker on the road below. Silent, eyes gleaming. Exterior Borgo Road night. The horses spook wildly, backpedaling. The Slavic tries to control them. Harper leaps in. Inside, passengers slam into each other, crying out, screaming.
Vrolaki! Segoika! Nesferito!
4 black stallions appear from the mist, pulling a caleche coach so black it's purple, a vision from Dante's nightmares. Lantern rays fall across the dark driver reining in the stallions, a tall man with a thin brown beard, his face shadowed by a great black hat. Dracula in disguise. Interior coach. Harker sits back, suddenly feeling very conspicuous. The peasant woman folds a crucifix into his hand. For the dead travel fast. The dark driver faces the passengers, evidently hearing her. He smiles. His eyes flash a deep, familiar blue. The woman hides her face, crossing herself. Harker tenses, watching the Slavic hand over his bag. The coaches side by side. Harker steps out. Before he touches ground, the dark driver leans down and lifts him easily into the caleche with one hand. The stallions wheel and sweep Harker away into the snowy mist. The Slavic speeds his relieved passengers in the opposite direction. Interior caleche, traveling night. The partition snaps back, startling Harker. The dark driver hands him a heavy coat and a flask of brandy.
Is it far to the castle?
The driver closes the partition abruptly. The coach sways, lulling Harper hypnotically. A dog howls in the distance. Another joins it, echoing on the wind.
Brace up. This is business, John.
Wolves howl back. More of them, closer. Harker freezes. The coach lurches up a steep grade. Harker looks out. Exterior caleche, his point of view, blackness, swirling snow, the 4 black stallions. Heads churning, steam rising, howling surrounds them. Harker is terrified. High angle on the Borgo Road, wolves gather in silhouette, lining both sides of the pass, howling Harker's progress up the road. Resume back to the coach, where suddenly a strange blue flame floats in the darkness ahead, silhouetting the driver. Horses spook and whinny. Exterior clearing, battleground, from scene 1, high angle at night. The driver stops the caleche in front of the jagged rock formation. The unseen howling wolves are circling. The dark driver strides toward the blue flame, having no fear. All howling ceases. Harker peers from beneath the cloak. In the darkness, a ring of eyes surround the coach. Clouds break. Moonlight pours through, revealing a ring of wolves, more terrifying in their grim silence. Harker screams, pounding on the side of the coach, hoping to scare the beasts away, and the dark driver appears in the blue flame facing the wolves, his voice metallic, not of the living.
Stranger, Moroni.
With a gesture of his long arms, the wolves depart, howling into the distance. The dark driver leaps aboard. The stallions plunge ahead through the blue flames, and heavy castle gates close behind. Exterior castle courtyard night. The coach stops. The dark driver removes Harker's luggage, then sets the frightened man down in front of a great door as if routine. Resuming the rein, he wheels the nightmare coach down a dark passage. Harker is completely distraught. The castle appears a vast ruin. The great door opens behind him, and he faces a tall old man in a dark Oriental-style suit, bearing an emerald green cross over the breast, white mustache of Oriental fashion like Attila or Genghis Khan, hands long and hairy, face riveting, handsome like a Tartar, and horrible at the same time, his eyes a cold, vivid blue.
Count Dracula.
Dracula smiles, bowing with courtly gesture, speaking perfect English.
Welcome to my house, Mr. Harker. I am Dracula. Enter freely of your own will, and leave some of the happiness you bring.
The Count carries his luggage with astounding vitality. Harker enters freely. The door closes with a boom. Interior castle, the great hall night, a brightly lit room. Byzantine treasures abound. Tapestry hangs centuries old, but all in pristine condition. A ruin of a battlement protrudes in the center of the mosaic floor, surrounded by a scaffolding, a phallic remnant. The castle is in transition. Faded artworks and sculptures stand everywhere. Dracula reads a letter by the massive walk-in fireplace that warms the room, while he watches Harker devour a sumptuous meal.
You are the most gracious host, and such an ungodly hour. You've no idea how happy I am to be here.
Well, you will excuse me. I do not join you, but I have dined already, and I do not serve.
Feminine laughter echoes, startling Harker. Dracula doesn't react. Harker looks quickly around.
An ancestor? I see the resemblance.
He's facing a huge tapestry. A winged dragon, prostrate on a cross, biting its own tail, encircles a young warrior Dracula mounted on his horse, his shield a green cross. A Latin inscription reads,
Orvam misericordias Deus, justus et pios, Socrates Draconis.
Dracula is suddenly beside Harker, startling him. With a mocking smile, he pours more wine into Harker's golden chalice. Dracula's skin is shockingly pallid. His flashing blue eyes burn into Harker to the point of discomfort.
The author of the dragon. An ancient society pledging my forefathers to defend the church against all enemies of Christ. The relationship was not entirely successful.
Dracula laughs like a child carried away with his own first joke. Harker laughs uneasy, trying to be polite.
It is no laughing matter. We Draculas have a right to be proud. His glory is my glory. It is a wonder we are a conquering race. What devil or witch was ever so great as Attila, whose blood flows through these veins?
As he speaks, he draws a curved Turkish sword from a rack, slashing it about, sending Harker backpedaling. Dracula sags, drained, saddened, facing a painting of himself.
Blood is too precious a thing in these times. The warlike days are over. The glories of my great race is but a tale to be told. I am the last of my kind.
I have offended you with my ignorance, Count. Forgive me.
Forgive me, my young friend. I am not accustomed to guests, and I am weary from many years of mourning over the dead. But soon my exile will be over. In you, my new life in London will begin.
He bows in apology. Harker bows in return, unnerved. Interior library, tight on Dracula's white hand at night. Long nails filed to claw-like points, Oriental fashion. He pens his ornate signature to a deed of purchase. Vladislaus Dracula Sezcles. Harker places the hot waxen seal on the deed.
There, you, Count, are the owner of Carflex Abbey at Perflect.
Harker extends his hand to shake. Not knowing the custom, Dracula opens both hands and bows. Silken hair lines his palms. Harker masks his reaction.
Your employer, Hawkins, right? You are a man of good taste. He says you are a worthy substitute for your predecessor, Mr. Renfield.
You may say on me, you may rely on me, Count. I shall be privileged to serve as your personal solicitor and the trend to all your investments needs. I brought photo plates of Claflex and other properties around London, per your request.
Harker spreads glass photo plates on the great table. Dracula is amazed as he surveys the views of the old estates, as if he's never seen a photo plate. Ever.
I long to go through the crowded streets of your mighty London, to be in the midst of the whirl and rush of humanity, to share its life, its changes, its death. Here I am a boyer, I am master, but in London I am stranger, and a stranger in a strange land. He is no one.
Harker admires the impressive array of English magazines, newspapers, Whitaker's Almanac. He turns the atlas to Dracula doing his sales job.
I see I see from your volume you will not be a stranger. Look, sir, Carflex is here in Purfleet, just west of London. My home is in Exeter.
Dracula's atlas has already been marked with red circles in every location he mentioned. Purfleet, Exeter, Hillingham, the docks at London, the 10 properties, including a foundry. Harker hesitates, puzzled.
Forgive me. Forgive my curiosity, Count, but why 10 houses in such precise locations around the city? Is it to rise the market value? Is this your strategy?
Dracula, riveted to a photo plate. So still, he looks dead.
Very wise, my young friend. Do you believe in destiny?
Reveal the photo plate of Mina, her secret smile reaching across the centuries to Dracula.
That even the powers of time can be altered for a single purpose.
Dracula rubs his palm over Mina's likeness, mating with her aura. He turns away, hiding his orgasmic reaction.
The luckiest man who walks on this earth is one who finds true love.
Dracula shows Mina's photo to Harker.
Oh, you found Mina. I thought she was lost. Where to be married as soon as I return.
She will no doubt make a devoted wife, and you a faithful husband.
A rustle of feminine garments blurs behind Harker. He looks. Nothing. Maddening. Dracula doesn't react.
You're both kind. You must meet her. Are you married? Count, sir, are you married?
Once, a long time ago, there has been no other like her.
He returns the photo plate.
Write now, my friend, to our friend Peter Hawkins and to the other, and say, if it will please you, that you should soon stay with me until a month from now.
Dracula abruptly exits, leaving Harker alone. Harker surveys the opulence. He leans back, propping his feet on the massive desk, imagining it's all his, and so begins to write. Interior guest quarters at night. Elegant appointments. Roaring friendly fire. Food, cognac. Harker hums at his shaving mirror, pleased with his coup.
5 May, journal entry. I am in the sea of wonders. The Count has request I remain for a month to tend his business. His wealth is extraordinary, in spite of certain defcations in his house and his external ways, table service of gold and of immunus value. The hangings of my bed are of the costliest and most beautiful fabrics, centuries old, though in excellent condition. Note, inquire his dinner recipes for Mina.
He eyes the crucifix above his neck, the gift from the peasant woman. Dracula's slender hand appears, gliding to him, flexing in anticipation, landing gently on his shoulder. Harker startles. The mirror shows no reflection except his own. He wheels to see Dracula, way across the room, turning back his bed.
Count, I didn't hear you come in.
Oh, the hour is late. My servant are retired. My apologies for the lack of indoor plumbing. Take care of how you cut yourself. It is more dangerous than you think.
With blurring speed, he wipes blood from a razor cut on Harker's jaw. Harker turns to his mirror. Dracula pitches it out the window. It smashes far below.
The foul bubble of man's vanity. Perhaps you should go up yet. The letter I requested. Have you written them?
Harker turns over 3 sealed envelopes. Dracula eyes him in the candlelight and tucks them in his jacket, satisfied.
You may go anywhere you wish in the castle, except where the doors are locked. It is an old and many bad memories. There are bad dreams for those who sleep unwisely. Be warned.
I'm sure. I understand.
Howling wolves echo off camera in the distance.
Listen to them. The children of the night. What music they make. You dwellers in the city cannot enter the feelings of a hunter.
Harker shudders. Music? Those animals? Dracula's eyes flash fixing on Harker's crucifix.
Do not put faith in such trinkets of the seat. We are in a land beyond the forest. Our ways are not your ways, and there shall be to you many strange things. From your experience, already you know something of what I speak.
Indeed, I have seen many strange things this night. Wolves chasing me. I was almost consumed in some blue inferno. And that driver.
He is allowed to can scarcely find his own shadow in the day. So, my young friend, you've seen the blue flame. It doesn't commonly believe that on this night once a year, such a flame may be seen over any place where Teresa has been buried.
Harker rushes to the window, peering out.
It was just outside your gates. We could retrieve it in the morning. I'll dig it up for you.
Do not envy another man's wealth, Mr. Harker. For what is its true wealth without love?
Oh! The wolves howl closer. Harker turns to the sound. His door lock clanks in place. Dracula is gone. Harker sinks at the window in nagging fear. Soft rustling outside startles him. Harker leans out to investigate. Exterior castle wall at night, from Harker's point of view, a dark figure slowly emerges from a window, face down, its cloak spreading around it like great wings. It hesitates, then scurries lizard-like through patches of moonlight down the sheer castle wall over the abyss. Resume on Harker. He ducks back, unable to trust his own eyes. He looks again. No figure. The wall's impossible to climb. His door handle rattles. Low feminine laughter ripples on the other side. Interior great hall at night, continuing. An empty hall. Torches flicker. The tinkling laughter ripples again through the castle. Harker crosses with a torch.
Count? Sir, hello?
His voice echoes. No response. Shadows scurry up the high walls behind him. Titters. He wheels. Nothing. Interior spiral stairs. Harker tries door after door. Locked. At the top of the stairs, flanked by oriental erotic statues, a lone door opens as if expecting him. Interior tower bedchamber at night. Octagonal. Byzantine. Adorned in feminine frills. Mirrors abound. Harker laughs out loud.
Do not go where the doors are locked. Bad dreams. Here, some fair lady surely receives the count pleasure.
He sits on a great couch in front of tall windows, taking in the moonlit view. Finally relaxing, he drifts asleep. Dust begins to swirl in the moonbeams. Footprints appear on the dusty marble floor beside Harker's. Petite. Female. Harker blinks in a dreamy state. A smile of pleasure crosses his face. A languorous feminine hand traces his loin, caressing, arousing him. He reaches down to join the stroking. More hands smooth up his thighs, his chest, to his throat, his cheek. Dracula's 3 exquisite brides hover like adoring angels, half spiritual, half erotic, brilliant white teeth behind ruby voluptuous lips. Their laughter intolerable, tingling sweetness of water glasses when played by a cunning hand.
Go on. You are first and we shall follow. Yours is right to begin.
The youngest hesitates, no more than 17, as fair as Mina, with masses of golden wavy hair, eyes like pale sapphires.
He is young and strong. There are kisses for us all.
The youngest drops to her knees, bending over Harker. She arches her neck, wetting her scarlet lips. She rips his shirt down to his waist, tracing his stomach, his nipples with a hungry tongue. Harker swells, unable to resist. She flicks her tongue up his throat to his crucifix. She shrinks back, swelling with hate to the delight of the older brides. She clasps the crucifix chain in her luscious mouth and bites it in two. The crucifix clinks to the floor. In the mirrors, we see only Harker's reflection. He exalts his passion freed. There is no reflection of the brides, who pin his arms with surprising strength. The youngest straddles him like a horse. She cups her young breasts, lowering them maddeningly to suckle him. She trails her mane down his bare chest, down his stomach, licking him down to his loins. He cries out in ecstasy. The older brides kiss each other across him, fondling themselves to a frenzy, nipping his breasts and arms with love bites. Harker stiffens in orgasm as they feed on his wrists. The youngest jabs her nails into his pants and slits them down to his knee, nibbling his bare thigh. Harker jerks with electric spasms of passion. Older brides smother his cries with their bodies as they slither down his face and torso, their mouths finding each other in a torrid 3-way kiss. Windows blow open with a rush of energy. Dracula grabs the young bride's neck, his fingers encircling her throat like tentacles, and he yanks her into the air.
How dare you touch him, any of you! How dare you cast eyes on him when I've forbidden it!
Hurling the young bride away like a rag doll, she slams into the wall and sticks to it like a fly.
This man belongs to me!
The youngest scurries across the ceiling, taunting Dracula, laughing cruel, soulless. The oldest brides laugh with her.
You yourself never loved. You never loved.
Dracula recoils. His voice is soft, tender whisper.
Yes, I too can love. You yourselves can tell it from the past. Is it not so? And I shall love again.
Youngest crawls seductively down the wall to him. Brides fold themselves into him like a big furry animal.
I promise you, when I am gone on my journey, you shall kiss him at your will.
Are we to have nothing tonight?
He gestures to a bag sitting on the floor by the window. The bag moves, as if something alive is in it. The youngest leaps and opens it. A low wail of a baby emits. She swoons. The older brides join her, flushed with hunger, the desire. They vanish in a flood of moonbeams. Harker chokes back his repulsion, and Dracula faces him, eyes blazing red, and with that elegant, imperious gesture, he faints Harker dead away. Dissolved to exterior Castle Dracula, the courtyard, rainy day. Cisgani gypsies load heavy coffin-like crates onto 2 horse-drawn wagons. Others bring more boxes up from a vault entrance. A crate topples, breaking open. The Cisgani back away, terrified. The horses frenzy. The broken coffin box, moldy dirt spilling out. Just dirt, quickly turning to mud in the pouring rain. Interior bride's tower bedchamber, rainy day continued. Harker, curled in a fetal position at the window, nude, eyes sunken, a husk ravaged by fear, hunger, and the brides entangled on and about him. Older brides untwine, kissing his limbs, his throat, their hunger sated. The youngest strokes him, wiping her lips with her golden hair, kissing him passionately. She slowly leaves, letting him feast on her perfect body with his eyes. His arrogance gone, his nightmare not over.
These may be my last words. I write in this journal. I am alone in this castle with these women. No, Mina is a woman. These are devils of the pit. Dracula, this being I am helping transfer to London, where for centuries he might among its teeming millions salutates his lust for blood and carry a new and ever-winding circle of his demons.
He looks out the window. Sagani load the boxes quickly. Exterior castle wall and precipice later. The Argus River roars 200 feet below. Harker descends the stone wall, slipping, clinging, cutting himself.
I have not seen the Count in daylight. Can it be he sleeps when others wake? If I could if I could but find him, I will kill him and find a way from this dreadful place where the devil and his children still wake with earthly feet. God's mercy is better than that of these monsters. Goodbye. Mina is, if I fail, goodbye. Oh.
His bloody fingers give way. He skids down the face. Interior castle chapel continuing. Dim light streams down from the crumbled vaulted ceiling, the ground excavated. Coffin crates stand in rows. Exhausted, in pain, Harker crawls from a tunnel to a pile of gold coins sitting on the ruins of the very 14th century altar where young Prince Dracula cradled Elizabeth. Harker plows his hands into the coins, feeling a surge of energy. He stuffs his pockets, looking around, crazed. He marvels at the dragon art with one word carved into it: Dracula. Harker inspects the carvings. A berserker wolf in full armor repels an army of Turks. Hundreds of bodies impaled on stakes. The dragon's tail rings the rendering. Stakes still protrude in the chapel ground. Skeletons, century-old, grotesquely skewered on them. Sagani gypsies enter, carrying out more crates. Harker ducks behind an open crate. He shrinks back in horror. Dracula lays in his day coma, packed in the moldy earth, eyes wide open and stony. No sign of life. Harker summons courage, grabs a shovel and raises it to strike, and Dracula's inert body raises straight up, facing Harker. Harker stumbles back, gagging, entangling himself in the impaled skeletons, and he flails madly, trapped. Silvery laughter echoes through the chapel. Dust begins to dance. The 3 brides materialize wearing flowing burial gowns, and they surround Harker, more voluptuous than ever before.
Don't leave us. You want us. You want us.
He grabs an impaling pike. She rubs her porcelain skin against him. Harker weakens, his laugh building, maniacal. He grabs her golden hair, guiding her luscious mouth to his erogenous zones. The brides engulf him. Harker exults like a madman, echoing over the exterior courtyard, continuing action. The Sagani reverently fix Dracula's coffin atop the load. 50 in all, each consigned to S.F. Billington and Son, Goswell Road, London, EC1, England. The wagons clatter from the courtyard. Harker's mad laugh continues over the interior of the castle. The painting of the warrior prince, young, mocking smile, crystal blue eyes watching us. We dissolve to the blue flame, and then dissolve to an ocean at night. A schooner crashes down through stormy seas as if emerging from the blue flame. Superimposed log of the Demeter, Varna to London. Entry July 18th. Things so strange happening that I shall keep accurate note henceforth, though we land. Yesterday, a Larkin confided to me a strange man was aboard. Informed crew. First mate angry. Bosun Pafosky missing this morning. Could not account for it. Men all in a panic of fear, asking to have double watch as they fear to be alone. Exterior deck continuing action. Waves crash over her gunwales, flooding the empty deck. An agonized scream is muffled by the storm. A body surfaces on deck and floats by in a rush of water. Interior ship's hold continuing action. Water streams down, splattering like drums on the stacks of coffin crates. One has no lid. A puddle of water rapidly fills an impression in its moldy dirt. The shape of a man. Exterior quarterdeck continuing. A horrid face appears from the spume. It's the first mate. He gasps the dead body and turns it over. The man's throat has been torn away. The captain appears, and the first mate grabs him wild-eyed.
I saw it, an old man, tall and thin, ghastly as it is. I crept up behind it and give it me knife. It went through it, empty as air.
The mad sailor slashes his knife through the air.
His face had changed. He's a young lad. He's changed again, a beastie.
A chilling sound never heard at sea spirals above the din, stopping both men. The lone, agonized howl of a wolf. Lord, help us!
It's the devil, I tell you.
The first mate runs crazed, leaping overboard into the stormy sea. The captain lashes himself to the wheel. The howl resounds again. The hunter hunting. Exterior Hillingham grounds, panorama day. Magnificent sunset over the cemetery in the Thames. Superimposed 24 July, Mina Murray's diary.
This is so beautiful. Lucy and I took hands as we sat, and she told me about her coming marriage. That made me just a little heartsick, for I haven't heard from Jonathan for a whole month.
Mina sits on the stone bench, aloof, removed. Lucy, beautiful in a white lawn frock, full of excitement, balances on a grave monument, laughing mischievously.
This is my favorite spot in the entire world. Mina, we've always each told each other our deepest, most inner secrets. I have one.
I should have hoped you're not sleepwalking again.
No, Goose. I'm getting married.
Mina is elated and jealous, which she tries to hide.
Oh, Lucy. Oh, finally. How wonderful. To the lunatic doctor. I know, the Texan with the big knife.
No. Number 3. Arthur Holmwood. Lord Arthur Holmwood. Lord Art and Lady Lucy. Arthur is such a dear to be so disgustingly rich just for me. You are to be my maid of honor. Oh, say yes.
Of course, Luce. I'm honored. But I thought you loved that Texan creature.
Oh, I do. Whenever and wherever he wants me to.
Mina is annoyed. Major scowl.
Oh, Don't look at me that way, Mina. I'm not marrying for love. Who can afford to these days? So de class.
Mina regards Lucy in complete disbelief.
Honestly, who can be so naive? You've been an absolute bore since Jonathan went abroad.
Silence. Mina is uneasy.
Mr. Hawkins sent me a note from him, one brief line in over a month. This is not like Jonathan.
It could be you're in love with the wrong man.
The truth? Mina is shocked. The skies suddenly darken. Thunder cracks unexpectedly. A cloudburst unloads, drenching them. Lucy revels in the downpour, standing on the bench.
Oh, Mina, look at us. What if Arthur and Jonathan should see us like this?
Lucy twirls, pulling her drenched white frock down over her body. Transparent, titillating. She tickles Mina.
Oh, Lucy, behave yourself.
Fine talk for an assistant schoolmistress. Look at you!
Mina's white linen dress is diaphanous in the downpour. She laughs with utter delight. Lucy chases Mina around the bench, both squealing like squirrel girls. They wrestle. Lucy runs into the cemetery, daring Mina to follow. Mina gives chase, dodging and weaving through the tombstones. Suddenly, she stops. Exterior Thames, Mina's point of view downriver. An ominous, iridescent fog bank obscures the sunset. Brightened by flashes of lightning, it rolls toward them. Something powerful is coming. Great streaking hollow sounds boom overhead like modern jets. Resume on Mina. Strangely unafraid, her destiny rides the storm. Exterior Zoo, storm, continuing action. Berserker the wolf wakes to the sounds. Howling, snarling at the bars. More cages. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my, suddenly rise, yowling and roaring at the storm. Monkeys chatter and race around their cage. Baboons suddenly fight and tear at each other. Exterior Seward's asylum, storm continuing action. Literally a madhouse. Inmates tear at each other and their barred windows, slathering like animals at the zoo. Interior asylum corridor at night. The inmates scream from their cells. More inmates rush down the corridor like a crashing wave. Outnumbered keepers beat and lash, trying to drive them back. Interior Renfield's cell, night. Renfield wakes from comatose sleep. Like Berserker, he senses the presence of a mighty force. He smashes his face between the window bars, convinced he can fit through. He exults at the great streaking sounds, summoning them like a conductor summons his orchestra. He opens a box of spiders, big ones. He shepherds scores of flies swarming onto a plate of sugar.
Gather round, my pets. The master of life is at hand.
He dumps the flies on the spiders, watching the feeding frenzy with childish delight. He writes numbers in a notebook, counting flies like an accountant running totals.
The case of Renfield grows more interesting since taking him in 5 months ago due to mental distress.
Interior Seward's office night. Dr. Jack Seward, an intense workaholic in his 30s, dictates into an Edison wire recorder. As he speaks, he prepares an injection.
He has certain qualities highly developed: selfishness, secrecy, and purpose. There is method in his madness with his flies and spiders, and now even sparrows. Mad. And if I had the secret of even one such brilliant mind, the key to the fancy of one lunatic. Lucy cannot eat, cannot be angry with you nor my friend, Arthur, whom you bring happiness. Since my rebuff, nothing seems of sufficient importance. Work is my cure. If only I had a strong cause as my poor mad friend, Reinfeld.
Seward ties off his arm. The injection is for him. Interior asylum corridors, a storm continuing action. Seward glides calm and resolute through his loonies, hissing, growling, clawing at him like hungry animals. He motions to the big keeper in Renfield's cell. Interior Renfield's cell, Seward enters, covering his face with a handkerchief, the floor covered with dung. Renfield offers a large spider in his palm.
Hors d'oeuvres, Dr. Seward? Canapes?
Oh, no, thank you, Mr. Reinfeld. How are you feeling tonight?
Far better than you, my lovesick doctor.
Is my personal life of interest to you?
All life interests me.
Renfield pops a handful of flies in his mouth, savoring the taste, licking his fingers in mannerly fashion.
Your eating habits are disgusting.
Lies. All perfectly nutritious life. Each life I ingest gives life back to me.
He picks out a large blowfly and eats it. Seward is impressed by his logic only.
I shall have to invent a new classification of lunatic for you.
I prefer the classification of Professor Abraham Van Helsing, Zoophagus arachnophobe Spider-Man. I want him to be my doctor.
Renfield wipes a slew of roaches off a medical journal, pointing to an article, Diseases of the Brain by A. Van Helsing.
Don't flatter yourself. You are my lunatic. I only call in my mentor and friend as a last resort.
Renfield loses composure, begging on Seward like a dog.
How about a kitten then? A nice little sleek, playful kitten that I can teach and feed and feed. No one would refuse a kitten, I implore you.
Wouldn't you rather have a cat? Why not feast on an elephant?
A cat will do. My salvation depends upon it. The master comes. Lives. I need lives for the master. Here, kitty, kitty.
Lightning flashes through the skylight. Thunder crashes. Interior, Lucy's bedroom at night. The storm continues. Lucy and Mina hide under the covers and giggling like schoolgirls at the sound of the storm.
It says in New Woman, girls who are faint-hearted cannot survive in the modern world. Come on, it's just a storm.
She pulls Lucy from under the covers, forcing her to look out the balcony windows. Thunder booms, lightning flashes, blinding them both. They dive, shrieking under the covers.
We'll see how brave you are. I have a wonderfully wicked plan.
Lucy hurries to her vanity and begins brushing on the bright red lip paint. Mina follows, piqued.
We'll dress as whores and surprise Art at his bachelor due. You will make a ravishing tart. All the men will undress you with their eyes. You.
She begins to paint Mina's lips, playfully caressing her neck, her breast. Mina backs away, surprised at her arousal.
Lucy, I promised Art to keep you from mischief tonight. So go to bed. No more nonsense.
Mina is imperious, almost regal in her command. Lucy backs away like a scolded puppy and then laughs like Dracula's brides and dances into the bed seductively. Mina is surprised at her own strong behavior. Thunder booms and they both scream. Exterior, the Korea. Storm continuing action. A rowdy pub on a London street.
Drink up! Another health.
Interior, the Korea. Quincy Morris is roaring drunk in a sea of hookers.
Another toast with all other tots to the happiest man in all the world, who's won the noblest woman God made. Our good Lord Art.
He spins, sloshing right on Lord Holmford, Lucy's fiancé. Late 20s, a rich, stiff, imperial English twit. His title and wealth are his major attractions. He is drunk as well, but disdainful of Quincy's behavior. Bloody savage. We're not in Bolivia. This is civilization.
Yes, my lord. Nobody here. Here but flesh eaters, my lord. I say, you're for Mad Doc Stewart and myself. With all respect, my lord, Miss Lucy is Houghton and Hotterin, and a June bride riding bareback in the middle of the Sahara.
I'll,
Buck
rem-
Sneaky.
I'll remind you, Lucy is to be my wife, so watch your heathen tongue if you wish to keep it. Homeward trips Quincy angrily. He staggers back into a big Irishman, embracing that man's hooker. The Irishman smashes Quincy against a row of kegs. The kegs topple, sending a wave of ale crashing like the sea over Quincy, sprawled on the floor with several hookers. The thunder booms. The pub windows blow out. The rain blows in. Quincy greets it with a cowboy yell. Hookers roll back from the wind and rain. A human wave of flesh writhing past homeward, seeking refuge. The interior and exterior of the Demeter, night. The captain, lashed firm to the wheel, dead. His head twitches to and fro, his throat torn completely away. Below, waves crash at an open hatch. The hammocks sway, arms and legs dangle, a head, throat torn away. Exterior Hillingham, the storm continues. The shutters blow off, the terrace windows blow open. Inside Lucy's bedroom, the storm continues. Rain and wind lash her as she forces the terrace doors closed, locking them. Mina, you're muted.
Lucy, are you all right?
She can't see in the darkness. She feels the bed. Empty. Covers tossed on the floor. Fearing the worst, peers out a small window. Exterior Hillingham, from Mina's point of view, through the storm, ascending the steps through the cemetery, a white-gowned figure. Exterior cemetery steps, we follow Lucy sleepwalking, with a serene smile, oblivious to the winds ripping at her. Exterior river is continuing in the storm, fog, lightning. Suddenly the Demeter plunges in the lighthouse beams, out of control. The exterior London docks at night. The Coast Guardsmen race about securing small craft. The bank of fog rolls in, blinding the view. The great streaking hollow sounds boom overhead as lightning flashes. The fog suddenly clears, revealing the Demeter motionless in the water at the docks. Its anchor drops. The guardsmen stand awestruck at the impossible sight. An immense wolf dog suddenly leaps from the bow into the water, swimming away. Exterior Demeter on deck. The guardsmen hurry on deck, finding hideous, cadaverous, dead bodies washing about. Lamps discover the dead captain lashed to the wheel. His throat has been torn away. A triumphant "Oh!" Momentary silence is a tempest. Exterior Hillington Cemetery, the storm continuing action. Mina emerges from the fog, wrapped in a heavy shawl, fighting the wind and spray. She stops dead as a howling reaches her, sending deeper chills through her. She disappears into the fog.
Lucy! Lucy!
Mina's point of view of the cemetery. Lucy's white-gowned figure is splayed, wanton in the stone seat, her arms pinned back, her hips undulating wildly. A dark figure, erect like a man or a beast, bends over her. Mina appears from the mist. Lightning illuminates the view. The dark figure rears up, staring with flashing red eyes. Dracula's point of view. Night vision, a vampire's view. Mina moves in slow, fluid movements, blood glowing in her veins like lava, churning with life. Her breathing and heartbeats amplified. The view jumps closer, right up to Mina's face. Flash to the face of Elizabeth and back to Mina.
No, do not see me.
With Mina, she finds Lucy alone, breathing in heavy orgasmic gasps, the gown spread, revealing her breasts, her thighs. Mina wraps her shawl about Lucy, pinning it at her neck. Lucy shudders. Mina takes her shoes off and slips them on Lucy's bare feet. She shakes Lucy hard, waking her in her half-dreamy state. Lucy gasps for air. Mina stands up and guides her away.
His eyes, his eyes.
It's all right. You were dreaming, walking in your sleep.
Please don't tell anyone, Mina.
Shoo, Shap. Let's get you home.
They pass beneath a massive stone monument at the cross. Lightning crackles, revealing Dracula in the shadow of the cross, the handsome warrior prince, young again, stallion black hair falling about his shoulders, those piercing blue eyes, watching Mina go, filled with a hunger to live, to love. Lightning and thunder, the master has come. Padmina, do you want to take over some actions and descriptions from here?
Okay, yeah. Super, wait,
From Fade In.
what did you say?
Fade In, exterior Carfax estate. Right here.
Fade in, exterior, Carfax Estate, daytime. Super. Letter Samuel F. Billington and Son Solicitor to messengers to Carter, Patterson and Company, London, August 17th. Herewith, please receive invoice of goods to be delivered at Carfax, near Purfleet, immediately upon receipt. Enclosed, find keys. You will please deposit the consigned boxes of experimental earth, 50 in number, in the partially ruined building marked A on the diagram enclosed. We are, dear sirs, faithfully yours, Samuel F. Billington and Son. High stone walls surround the house, which has been abandoned for years. A pond spreads in front of an old chapel. At the chapel entrance, lorrymen unload the coffin crates from 2 delivery wagons marked Carter, Patterson and Son. Interior, chapel continuing action. The coffin crates make an eerie sight lighted up in the ruins of the medieval chapel. Dracula is home. Exit, exterior, asylum day. Renfield holds vigil at his window, nosing the wind. The master has come. The blood is alive. Blood is alive. He politely gorges himself on spiders and flies. Interior, Seward's office, day continuing action. Seward tips a messenger and assigns for a telegram. The messenger exits. Seward checks the sender.
What the devil does Lord Arthur want? Blood? Salt my wounds? Best man at his wedding?
He reads. He sits gravely disturbed by the telegram.
Lucy is ill. No special disease, but she looks awful. Worse every day. I am filled with anxiety. I must not hesitate to ask you to see her, old friend. It is for her sake. Homeward.
Seward is chilled by the plea. Lucy, a stout keeper suddenly bursts in.
Dr. Stewart, it's Renfield.
Exterior asylum. Renfield's window continuing action. Renfield smashes his bed through the barred window with superhuman thrusts. My master is at hand. Command me. He crawls out face down, spreading his arms and legs like a spider, and falls 2 floors, smacking the ground. Impossibly, he staggers to his feet and runs toward Carfax. Interior. Renfield's cell. Seward enters. The cell is crawling with bugs and spiders. Seward spots Renfield out the window going over the wall to Carfax. Exterior, Carfax, day, minutes later. Renfield beats against the old iron-bound oak chapel door. I'm here to do your bidding, master. Seward drops over the wall and approaches slowly. Keepers follow. The stout keeper carries a straight waistcoat. pounding, begging, I have worshipped you long and far off. Now that you're near, I'm your slave, I await your commands. Renfield turns, facing Seaward and the keepers.
Master? Reinfeld, have you taken up religion? Come along now. Your flock needs tending.
What do bugs and birdies matter when I have been promised eternal life? I'll fight for my lord and master. He grabs Seaward by the throat. Keepers wrestle him to the ground. Renfield bites one keeper's nose off. He snaps another's arm as if a chicken bone, cracking it like a pistol shot. The man screeches agony. Interior, chapel belfry, Dracula's POV upside down, the vampire view of human auras in battle below, heart lights pounding, breathing amplified, keepers beat the lunatic with clubs. Renfield fights on. We hear Dracula's metallic animal growl of approval. We see the red eyes of the predator watching. Exterior, Hillingham Estate, afternoon, Seaward exits a hansom. Interior, Lucy's bedroom, afternoon, her door opens. Lucy turns in her wedding dress, bubbling delight. Jack, brilliant Jack, oceans of love, billions of kisses. She opens her arms to him. Seaward Unflappable is shocked at her appearance. He takes her hand instead of her kiss. Do you like it? Mina does. I wanted you to be the first man to see it. She spins for his approval, her skin a chalky, bloodless white. Weight loss, frightening, gaunt, cheeks sunken in, receding gums, the early stages of vampire transformation. Arthur put you up to this, tell me. Or do you want me in my bedroom alone before I'm an old married nag? Ever the tease, she toys with the black velvet choker around her neck. Seaward forces a laugh, hiding his reaction.
Now, Lucy, you're embarrassing me and your doctor.
Lucy drops her bubble mask. She reclines in a chaise, hiding her eyes in her hands. I cannot tell you how I loathe talking about myself.
Your fiance is very worried about you, Lucy. I assure you, a doctor's confidence is sacred. I must have your complete trust.
She fondles the choker, crumbling in gasping sobs. Help me, Jack. Please, I don't know what's happening to me. I can't sleep. I see things in the dark, plain as day, and I'm starving, and I cannot bear the sight of food. Help me. She gasps, unable to breathe, clutching Seaward, terrified.
Lucy, Lucy, this will calm you.
He jabs an injection in her arms, rocking her like a baby, trying to comfort the one he loves but has lost. Lucy moans, the drug taking effect. Her hand drifts to the choker, riding it up, revealing 2 red marks. Seaward is too distraught to notice. Lucy's throat, at her external jugular, 2 surgical wounds. Exterior, London Street, moving point of view, Dracula's evening. Scanning the rush of humanity, women in great cartwheel, hats parade by with and without gentlemen. Each woman steals a glance at us. Some smile, others look away embarrassed, only to look again and again. Reverse to young Dracula, the most dashing, handsome man on the street, cuts a swathe like some legendary adventurer back from the wilds. An unusual wide-brimmed hat shades his sculpted face, thin dark beard perfectly trimmed, white kid gloves, a silver-headed walking stick which he thoroughly enjoys swinging, his eyes hidden behind the newest fashion tinted glasses. He smiles perfect white teeth, tipping his hat to each woman who catches his eye. The Count is cruising.
Good evening, ladies. I do find London has an abundance of the most beautiful women in the world.
Women titter quite improperly as he opens a horse-drawn hansom for them. Their gentleman chaperone frowns.
Have you Italians no manners?
Oh, Cipoca, si fa lupo la mangia.
He rises, sweeping his hand. The horse spooks and bolts, away with the man clinging to the hansom.
You behaves like a sheep gets eaten by the wolf. And boccia lupo.
Schoolboys dodge around Dracula in pursuit of a plump schoolgirl playing tag with their book bags. He delights in their vigor, appraising their size and shape. The little plump girl would do for a tasty snack. One boy shoves the girl hard to the cobblestones and runs. She sits on the curb, holding her knees, sobbing. A shadow passes over her. She looks up. Dracula looks.
Might a gentleman be of assistance to a young lady in distress?
Dracula bends, offering his handkerchief.
Kind of you, sir, but it is just a scratch.
She removes her hands, revealing her freshly skinned knee. Blood drools down her leg. The girl wipes the blood with her fingers, licking them clean. Dracula turns away, dizzied by the smell of fresh blood. His hunger is powerful. Dracula self-mocking.
I cannot stand the sight of blood.
He
Come,
beckons.
we must find you a physician.
He's lying. He takes the girl's pudgy hand in his glove. Dracula's point of view, the face of Mina approaches. Tense as she hurries through the crowd, her eyes meet his. She looks immediately away. Something compels her to look again. She hears her heart beat faster. She smiles, heading right at Dracula, as if she knows him. He panics, tipping his hat clumsily. Mina marches right past him.
Flo, you gave me a fright.
To Florence, the pudgy girl. She tends the knee, trying to make her presentable.
Young ladies in my tutorials do not chase about with boys on the streets. Are you hurt?
No, Miss Murray. This man helped me.
Flo hands Dracula his blood-stained hanky. Mina rises, taking him all in. He bows in courtly gesture.
My privilege to be of service, ladies. Children are the breath of life in my country.
Mina is enchanted by his manner and voice, but wary.
I thank you, sir. Good day.
Mina gives Flo her book bag and takes her hands to go.
Forgive my ignorance. I am recently arrived from abroad and do not know your city. Is a beautiful lady permitted to lasso directions?
Dracula is the lost soul. Mina flounces by with Flo, properly reticent to engage the strange man.
You may purchase a street atlas for 6 pence. Good day. Hurry now. Your nurse is waiting.
Flo waves to Dracula. He waves, desperate not to let Mina out of his sight. He hears every word.
Are we not going to the zoo?
Your lessons are more important.
At the corner, Mina delivers Flo to her nurse and goes her own way. Interior apothecary evening. Mina pays for a bottle of laudanum. rounds a corner and bumps right into Dracula. She startles backward. The bottle drops. He catches it with blurry swiftness.
Oh, I see you're still lost.
My humblest apology. We meet again. Fate, perhaps.
Destiny. 400 years. She eyes him, unexplainably drawn.
I should think not.
Hmm.
She holds out her hand. He almost grasps with his trembling hand, then realizes he has her medicine.
To see a sick friend, no doubt.
That is hardly your business.
I have offended you. My only wish is to find the zoological gardens. The child spoke of it. I understand the collection of animals is the greatest in all of civilized world.
Oh, if one fancies animals.
There is much to be learned from beasts.
I must go, if you will excuse me.
Exterior apothecary. Mina exits alone. Dracula is suddenly in front of her waiting. Mina is shocked. How?
Then allow me to escort you. A woman so lovely should not be walking the streets of London without her gentleman, who is perhaps away on business.
I will most certainly not be escorted by any gentleman who has not been properly introduced, and who comes and goes in a ghostly way.
Yet such important impertinence, how refreshing! A quality that would cost you your life in my homeland.
Then I should hope never to visit. Do you know, sir? Are you acquainted with my husband? Or shall I call the police?
Husband, forgive my manner of rudeness. I am but a stranger in a strange land. I shall bother you no more.
Bows, defeated, and turns to leave. Mina is confused, fighting against every rule of decorum.
Sir, I am the one who has been rude. The zoo is through Regent Park. It closes at sunset.
Dracula turns back, trying to control himself. He removes his tinted glasses, his sparkling blue eyes hypnotic, enchanting, taking Mina all in with loving grace.
Then we must hurry. Do not fear me.
Subconscious command. Mina is completely transfixed.
It's just on my way. I can show you if you like.
Mina flushes red, beside herself with embarrassment.
Oh dear, how positively silly of me. I cannot believe myself.
Dracula can. He grins like a lovesick schoolboy.
Permit me to introduce myself. I am Prince Vladislas of Seclia. Thus, proper introduction?
What an unusual name. And a prince, no less.
A meaningless title. Your servant.
Wilhelmina Murray.
Flustered, she starts to curtsy. Dracula stops her.
It is I who am honored, Matamina.
She allows a tentative smile, charmed and disarmed. Prince Dracula, barely containing his pure joy, escorts Mina into the swirl of life on the streets of London. Street lamps are being lit, people rush home from work, couples stroll catching the sunset, Big Ben chimes. Exterior zoo, evening. A great gray wolf leaps at us snarling, lips curled, back over its canines gnashing at the bars of its cage. Wolf's point of view through the bars. Dracula leans on his cane, sly smile, ruddy lips, white teeth, enjoying the chaos he is causing, unflinching as the beast hurls its body against the bars. Mina pulls at Dracula, distressed. She flinches back as if suffering an electric shock. electrical shock. For a flash, she sees those eyes, not vivid blue, but burning red like lasers.
It's best not to let the beast scent your fear. He will take all advantage if you allow him.
Mina regards the strange man who dropped in on her life. The zookeeper, Mr. Builder, hurries up and smacks the wolf through the bars with a wooden staff.
Jackson, want to take that one?
You now, get back. You attack care. Or basket. Yes, quit. Yes. What you doing here, governor? Zoo closed, isn't it?
Berserker rushes the bars, frightening Mina back. Dracula counters with a sweeping gesture, speaking his mother tongue.
Strictly, Melanie.
The words the dark driver spoke to control the wolves on Harker's journey into Castle Dracula. The wolf cowers, understanding, and retreats to the corner. Mina and Builder watch dumbfounded.
Are ye in the builder business yourself?
No, I have met parts of several.
Dracula beckons, gentle. The great wolf comes, head down, obedient. Dracula reaches through the bars and cradles Berserker's head in his white gloves, rubbing his ears, stroking his great back.
Come here, Mina. Have no fear.
Mina resists. Dracula draws her hand into the cage. She struggles, then her hand touches the soft fur. Sensual. Berserker moans like a playful puppy. She strokes its great neck. Getting into it, she smiles to Dracula, the very image of Elizabeth, laughing free and completely trusting as she pets the wolf. Dracula removes his glasses, man and beast face to face. His eyes again were crystal blue, the same color as the wolf.
Berserker.
Exterior, Hillingem, sunset. An elegant black touring car stops outside the gates. Dracula helps Mina down. Last rays of sun glowing about her.
Thank you for a most unusual afternoon, Prince. I'm not accustomed to such adventures.
It does not have to end here.
Mina lingers, reluctant to end it all.
For me, the day is just beginning. Join me, Madamina.
Her emotions ripple. She cannot deceive this man.
Please, I am not madam. I am engaged to be married. My fiancé is away on business. I cannot see you again.
Silence. Both fixed on each other. Unable to move, she bends, kissing her hand. Mina Ritchie reaches to stroke his long hair like the wolf, then catches herself pulling back.
My sympathies to your sick friend.
Mina takes a last look at these angel eyes and hurries up the carriage road to Hillingham's. Follow Mina. A rush of sexual adrenaline. Her face flushed, unable to contain her excitement, she turns to back. Nothing. Dracula has gone, even the touring car. Interior. Lucy's bedroom. Evening. Lucy sleeps peacefully. Mina peeks in and covers her. Mina is radiant, bursting in with news she cannot share. Super same day, 11 p.m., Mina Murray's diary.
I am so happy tonight because again feel life and hope. I dare not say why, but dear Lucy is sleeping softly and looks oh so sweet. I hope she has turned those corner with her condition. If Lord Holman fell in love with her seeing her only in the drawing room, I wonder what he would say if he saw her now. Well, some of the new women writers will someday start an idea that men and women should be allowed to sleep with each other before proposing or accepting. If only I knew if Jonathan, oh God bless him and keep him.
Exterior snowy woods night. Harker runs remotion, fighting the snow. Tingling laughter of Dracula's brides builds to the reverberating howling of wolves. The howling closes in. He falls, tumbling, sliding down, landing on railroad tracks. Blinding lights appear. A shrill whistle. Harker looks up, unable to move. The brides materialize, surrounding him, pressing him back into the snow. The train roars by OC. He struggles to free himself, but their erotic power over him is too great. Fade out. Fade in, tight on, microscopic view of blood. Pulsing. Cells churning. Corpuscles battle attacking a foreign cell.
Ah, you see, witness the struggle. The great mystery of life and death continues.
Reveal. Abraham Van Helsing lecturing a handful of students around his microscope. The poise of his hand indicates thought and power, sculpted in mystery and kindness, dark blue eyes, quick and tender or stern with the man's moods.
Dr. Van Helsing, you have yet to explain your theory.
It is the fault of science that wants to explain it all. But when science cannot, science simply says there is nothing to explain.
Van Helsing raises a limp arm of a cadaver on a table and lets it drop, punctuating his point. His students laugh.
There are many, many mysteries in our universe, but the key to all life and death lies here.
He slits his thumb with the lancet, squeezing his own blood onto a glass slide.
Blood is life and gives life. Page and Burden have proved the heart emanates with electrical charge with each beat, carrying the blood which animates the body and feeds it.
Van Helsing moves to the head of the cadaver, pushing electrical wires into the lobes of the exposed brain and open heart cavity.
The Americans have an electrical chair used to stop the hearts of criminals. Pity the Americans, barbarians. But consider a drop, the trickle of electricity to the heart, pumping blood through a body that has ceased to live. Can man play God, bestow life?
Helsing turns a hand generator, slowly watching the amps on a gauge. Students shrink back in exclamation. The cadaver's hands quake with the electricity. The dead heart beats erratically. Students shout and applaud. Tight on Van Helsing, cranking faster, playing God. Super. September 6th telegram, London to Van Helsing to Amsterdam.
Jax, do you want to take that one right there?
Oh, sorry.
Or sorry, that's
Dear
Sue, right?
Professor. What?
That'd be Vicky, right? Who's reads Seward? Sorry.
Dear Professor, come at once. Do not lose an hour. A dear friend near death, disease unknown. I am in desperate need. Jack Seward.
Exterior, Hillingham, Dracula's flying point of view. The view lands silently and moves through the garden, toward Lucy's balcony. The point of view lifts effortlessly into the air and glides to Lucy's French doors. Resume. Dracula point of view, night vision. Lucy senses the presence and turns over. Her eyes brighten. She smiles wanton and opens herself. Blood rushes through her, glowing like molten lava, pulsing life. On the balcony, Dracula watches, tracing his own hand up his leg to his pelvis, toying with her like a trained animal. Lucy mirrors him, arousing herself with her own caress. Her hands glide up her body, finding her breasts to her neck. She removes her choker, stroking her neck slowly with her hands, then faster. Ejaculatory sexual powers awakening. This is what she has hungered for. Dracula enters. No love or tenderness in him, he hungers. He hurls her back on the bed, rips away her gown, and takes her. Exterior Hillingham night, same time. Dense fog has set in. A motor car stops in front of the house. Professor Van Helsing steps out carrying a single valise, a grand silhouette. The car leaves. Van Helsing remains motionless, sensing, listening. Urgency sweeps over him. He ascends the steps hurriedly with a marked limp. Interior, Hillingham, continuing action. A servant takes Van Helsing's coat. He refuses to let go his bag. Seaward, haggard, hurries to meet him.
Professor Van Helsing, oh, how good of you to come.
Van Helsing, set in his eccentric ways, doesn't shake hands but rather places his gloves and hat in Seaward's care and immediately surveys the house with his sixth sense, already fearful of the power he's up against.
I come to my friend when he calls to aid me, those he holds dear. Jack, tell me everything about your case.
She has all the usual physical anemic signs. Her blood analyzes normal, and yet it is not. She manifests continued blood loss. I cannot trace the cause. She complains of dreams that frighten her, but cannot remember them. I have concluded it must be something mental.
Mental.
I'm losing her.
Your dear miss. She means much to you. You love her.
Seaward nods near collapse. Suddenly, Lucy's orgasmic wail echoes down the stairs. Interior hallway, continuing action. Lucy's wanton moans repeat again, building to a passionate female climax. Seaward falters, topping the stairs, confused by her cries of ecstasy. Interior, Lucy's bedroom. Van Helsing enters. Balcony doors stand open, curtains flap. Lucy lies sprawled on her bed, a small pool of blood caking on a pillow, her gown torn open to her waist. Van Helsing covers her. Her chest heaves, struggling to breathe. He checks her pulse, her jugular. The black choker hinders him. He slides it down, revealing the two small punctures, fresh, larger, worn with repeated use. Van Helsing's expression tells all. He knows. He knows.
Oh my God, Lucy.
There is no time to be lost. She will die for sheer want of blood. There must be transfusion at once.
Seaward opens the bag, pulling out implements.
You've perfected the procedure?
I've experimented with Landsteiner's method. If hemolysis occurs in the donor serum, the red blood cells will burst. Dear miss could die.
She will die if we don't try.
Homewood rushes in his hat and topcoat as Van Helsing ties off Lucy's arm in her state of undress.
What the bloody hell?
He grabs at Van Helsing. Seaward pulls him back.
Art, it's Professor Van Helsing, my old friend and teacher from Amsterdam. He knows more about obscure diseases than any man in the world.
I don't give a damn who he is. What's he doing to my Lucy?
Van Helsing looks at Seaward, then at Homewood. He sees everything.
He's trying to save her, Art.
The young miss is very bad. We make a transfusion. My life is hers. I would give my last drop of blood to save her. I do not ask as much as that.
Van Helsing holds up two ghastly needles in each hand connected by tubing and a bulb pump. Homewood grows faint. Seward is irritated by his lack of will.
You will be happy in the not so far off future. You have done all for her you love. Now kiss her once. We begin.
Self-conscious and overwhelmed, Homewood kisses Lucy tentatively on her bluing lips. Seward sits with him down like a child, ties off his arm with a jealous jerk and thumps up a vein. Experience. He jabs Homewood with the large needle, inwardly enjoying the pain he's inflicted in Homewood's face. Van Helsing inserts the large needle into Lucy's arm. She quivers in brief pain. Still unconscious, he pumps. Red blood rhythmically travels through a tube from his arm to hers, feeding life into her. We hear the force, like a raging torrent of water crashing down, dissolve to the face of Dracula in his coma, his lips red with life, his hunger sated, dissolve to face of Mina riding in a carriage, Super 6 September.
Diary again. Lucy has had another setback. I loathe to see her pain. I have had such an adventure, such an experience. I confess I can no longer hide my feelings. I must see the prince again. Oh, forgive me, Jonathan. I cannot bear not to.
Interior Rules Cafe, late night. Chorus girls and actresses dine discreetly with their gentlemen admirers, gentlemen dukes, Austrian counts, English royalty, the like, in this famous bohemian supper club. Absinthe abounds, the green fairy, liquid drug of choice. Oscar Wilde expounds a romantic poem to all the ladies present, and of course the men especially. Dracula, in classic tuxedo with a dash of red silk, riveted to Wilde. Dracula's handsome pallor and tinted glasses draws women's glasses like a rock star.
And her sweet red lips on mine burns like ruby fire set in the swinging lamp of the crimson shine, and the bleeding wound of the pomegranate, or the heart of the locust, drenched and wet with the split out blood of the rose red wine.
Wilde ends kneeling before Mina, sitting radiantly simple beside Dracula, who stands in rousing applause, rewarding Wilde with a magnificent golden ring.
Should you not bestow such treasures to your lady most fair, O prince?
Mina flushes red, watching Dracula adoringly.
Should you not bestow such treasure to your landlady most needy, O poet?
Wilde leads the crowd, applauding Dracula's wit. Dracula greets the adulation as if a great actor long absent returning to his stage.
He has such passion for life, for everything around him, like a child discovering the world.
Okay, yeah. I was wondering, can someone take over now for reading the directions? Thank you.
Into your private dining room later, where lovers meet for an undisturbed tete-a-tete. Dracula talks animated. He presses green absinthe to her lips.
Drink. Absinthe is the aphrodisiac of the self.
They drink deep. Mina weakens in his proximity, giving in.
What does an assistant schoolmistress know about such things? Oh, I've never been in such a swirl.
She swirls the green absinthe in the candlelight. Dracula covers her lips.
I had no teachers like you may use. Only monks. Large, obese, ugly-smelling monks. God curse them.
Yet I am drawn to something in him that frightens me. He has many secrets to unlock. I want to know them all.
The land of my ancient fathers is rich in culture and fable and lore, and kings and queens just as your England.
A land beyond a great vast forest, surrounded by majestic mountains.
The most beautiful place in creation.
Yes, it must be. I can see it. Majestic mountains,
Mm.
lush vineyards with flowers of such frailty and beauty as to be found nowhere else.
You describe my home as if you'd seen it firsthand.
It is your voice, perhaps. It is so familiar, like a voice in a dream you cannot place. It comforts me when I am alone.
Their eyes meet, both lingering too long.
And what of the princess?
Princess?
In your land, there's always a princess. Does she have flowing hair, the color of autumn, the haunting eyes of a lustful cat, with gowns flowing white, her face, uh, oh, her face, and a river? The princess is a river filled with tears of sadness and heartbreak.
Mm.
Mina awakens to her deep inner self.
Madame Mina, it is you who have become the poet.
Mina smiles aloft, lost in the abstinent dream, trying to decipher sensations surging through her.
Mm. There was a princess, Elizabeth.
Speaking, Elizabeth to Mina, as if it were her giving name.
The most radiant woman in all the empires of the world. Man's deceit took her from her ancient prince. She leaped to her death into the river you spoke of. In my mother tongue, it is called the River Princess.
Silence. Mina takes his hand in hers, rubbing them comforting. Dissolve 2. The cafe, later, Mina and Dracula dancing. A waltz. Hundreds of candles flicker. With each turn, Dracula becomes more fluid and confident in Mina's arms, and she is in his. She is awakening his dead soul.
I never thought to dance again or to laugh.
There is a loneliness in him that cries out for love, and something else frightening, almost evil.
He lifts her eyes to his. They kiss gently, tenderly. Mina desires awakened by a monster.
I find this irresistible. He is unlike any man.
Interior, dissolve 2. Interior, Lucy's bedroom. Day, Lucy's angelic face, sleeping peacefully, cheeks and colors healthily breath short, her face thin and drawn, and orgasmic shudder ripples through her. A tiny garland of white flowers has replaced her black choker. The face of Van Helsing hovers over her, his eyebrow converged deep in thought. He checks her receding gums, hiding his reaction to her, slightly changed teeth. He has seen this condition before. Mustn't panic. Van Helsing generally reveals the puncture of her throat. Stuart inspects them.
No sign of disease, no trituration. Could her blood loss have occurred here?
Van Helsing scoffs, disappointed in his student.
Of course not. The bedclothes would be covered in blood.
Let me.
Would you,
Red
would you like
eyes.
would you like me to take over? Oh, sorry. Am I-
Red eyes. Red eyes come.
She wakes. Van Helsing disarms her with a jovial bedside manner.
My dear young miss, they told me you were down in spirit. I say poof. You and I will show them how wrong they are.
Lucy
Yeah,
rallies with her coy, laughing, taking his hand. Stuart appears at Van Helsing's side.
Dr. Van Helsing, Jack, how good you all are to be.
What does he know of young ladies? He has his madmans to play with.
Lucy enjoys Stuart's embarrassment. Her hand glides to her throat. She freezes, feeling flowers instead of her choker. She wrinkles with her nose at the disgusting smell.
How can one so beautiful snub such a charming nose? This garland is medicinal, so that you may sleep well and dream pleasant.
He points to the large bouquet of beautiful white flowers in the vase by the French door.
Like the lotus flower, make all your trouble forgotten.
Lucy tears the flower necklace off, laughing disrespectfully.
You're putting up a joke on me. These flowers are only common garlic.
Van Helsing stands menacingly over Lucy. She recoils.
I never jest. I warn you that you do not thwart me. Oh, my little miss, do not fear me. I only do for your good.
Quincy enters. Having been outside waiting, he's shocked by her appearance, but puts on a big grin. You're just rest easy now, Lucy. Art asked me to look after you while he's out being lordly, whatever that is.
Oh, my love, I'm so glad you have come. Kiss me once more.
Her voice is soft, voluptuous, reeking with desire. Stuart is shocked, then jealous. Quincy bends to her eager. Van Helsing explodes, catching Quincy with a fury yanking him back across the room.
Not for your life, not for your living soul, or hers.
Quincy grabs Van Helsing. Stuart intervenes. Come on, you coatlets. Step outside and settle this.
Quinn, we agreed to do everything he says.
Lucy weak hand rests on Van Helsing. She kisses it. Her voice faint and filled with untelling photos.
You are my true friend. Guard my dearest friends and my Arthur and give me peace.
Van Helsing's eyes the young woman. No one challenges his authority now. He kneels, taking Lucy's hand in oath.
She charmed me, I swear to this, not because of disease, but because of you, dearest Mish.
Exit woods, rainy day. Harker crawls through a rush of mud and rain, as if trying to swim up a waterfall, drowning, sinking, dying. No man knows how till he has suffered from the night how sweet and dear to his heart. And I the morning could be, the letter I wrote, each one part of his plan, to blot out a very trace of my existence. Mina, I live. You, you must know I live. Um, okay, sorry. Interior church entrance, night. Someone pounds like a madman on the door. Outside, wolves howl. A nun rushes to the door, sliding open a small hatch. Lightning flashes, revealing the tortured face of Harker. He tries to speak. His voice is gone. He offers handfuls of ancient golden coins, pushing them through a small hatch. More nuns rush up. They open the door. Harker collapses into their arms. He is saved. Exterior Hillingen grounds day. A wedding rehearsal. Mina fills in for Lucy. Holmwood, Quincy, and Stewart greets her at the altar. The mood is somber. Holmwood puts on a brave face. Mina shores him up as they face the priest. Super 7 September, Mina Murray diary.
I am anxious, and it soothes me to express myself here. Today, we rehearsed Lucy's wedding. She was too ill to attend. Oh, poor Arthur. I have much to talk over with Jonathan about our own marriage. Only one letter from him in a month. A brief line saying he was leaving Castle Dracula. This is so unlike Jonathan. I do not understand this, and it makes me uneasy. If only I knew the future.
Interior Hillingen parlor day. Mina finishes her diary. Entry on a lap desk. A servant enters.
The gentleman will see you, or to see you.
Mina panics to herself.
Vladislaus? Not here.
Van Heisting enters, old charming masking his agenda.
Ah, you are Madam Mina, dear, friend to our Lucy. Forgive me, I have startled you?
Oh, Dr. Van Helsing, I thought you might be someone else.
Ah, yes. Lucy told me about your Mr. Harker's business trip and your worry for him. I worry too, for all young lovers. I should like to meet him someday.
Mina wasn't expecting this. Van Heisting takes her hand comforting.
Lucy, tell me much about her dear friend Mina. I know of her sleepwalking and how you saved her. I come to ask you to tell me all you can remember. It is for her good, I ask.
I wrote it all down, like here in my diary.
She finds the page. Van Heisting politely fittens it from her. Moving to the window to read, Mina starts to protect.
I shall be discreet, madame. I do not wish to know your secrets.
Professor, what is wrong with Lucy? Is she dying?
Things are not always as they seem.
He shuts the diary in a rush of energy, taking Mina's hands.
Madame Mina, how can I save what I owe you? This paper is as sunshine. I am dazzled. It will be a pleasure to serve you as a friend. I trust you, but ask.
You praise me too much, and you do not know me.
There are darknesses in life, and there are lights. You are one of the lights.
He kisses her hand and turns to go. He stops, slapping his hand to his great noble head.
Oh, mein Gott, the devil is fevered my brain. A letter for you from Budapest.
He fishes a letter from his pocket and presenting it.
Your husband will be blessed in you.
He dashes off. Mina stares at the open letter. Jonathan? She reads, breathless, the weeks of waiting over.
He's alive! Jonathan's alive!
Interior train tight on Mina day. Mina reads a letter from the 100th time. She barely comprehending its truth. Super 12th August letter, Sister Agatha, Hospital of Saint Joseph and Saint Mary.
I'm sorry.
Always. Dear Madame, I write by desire. Of Mr. Jonathan Harker, who is himself not strong enough to write, though progressing well, thanks to God and Saint Joseph and Saint Mary. He has been under our care, suffering from a violent brain fever. In his dilemma, he's raving has been dreadful, of wolves and poison and blood, of ghosts and demons, and I fear to say of what. Be assured that he is well cared for. He has told me all about you, and that you are shortly to be his wife. All blessings to you both. Mina's joy becomes remorse, crumbling in tears. Interior Rule Cafe tight on the letter. Night.
Oh, my dearest prince, oh, forgive me.
Dracula reads the letter in a private dining room set with an elegant meal. He is alone. Pain sharpens, with each word wrenching him like a wild animal caught in a trap.
I cannot be with you this night, nor ever again. I have received word from my fiancé in Europe. I am en route to join him. We are to be married. Forgive your love, Lena.
Tears drop, burling the ink. They are Dracula.
Mina, my love.
Flash to Mina on a boat. Night. Her joy melts to anguish and heartbreak. She finds her diary. Methodically, she tears JPEGs from it and throws them overboard, watching each memory drift away.
Oh, my sweet prince, Jonathan must never know of us.
She starts to throw a single white kind glove, touching it in her face, savoring, remembering. Tears finally come, her inner strength failing. She sobs, closing the door of Dracula forever. Resume. Dracula. Her head's in hands, fighting his grief, hiding his tears. Kid gloves stained with blood. He removes them, revealing the hideous face of a corpse. Skin cracking. rupturing, transforming into the 400-year-old demon that rules himself. Exterior, Hilligan Knight. Van Heisting climbs in the motor car with his inexpendable bag. Stewart follows with Quincy crowdling a Winchester. Jack, you know I love that girl. Wanted to marry her the same as you. Stewart, exhausted, shrugs out. Faces Quincy's man to man. That old Dutchin man knows what he's doing. He's much blood. How much blood we've got? Give her and where it's all going. And what the hell's with those flowers? Smells worse than a dog on a gut wagon. Is he working some kind of spell?
I have learned not to question Van Helsing's methods. Frankly, I'm at my wit's end.
Van Helsing leans from the car, impatient.
Guard her well, Mr. Maurice. Do not fail here tonight. We are fighting an enormous power here, greater than all the disease I have ever encountered. To live, it feeds on Lucy's precious blood.
Quincy, disgusted, ready to punch Van Helsing out. You sick old buzzard.
And you are a sane man. Both of you. Hear me out. Lucy is not a random victim attacked by mere accident. No, she is a willing recruit, a follower, I dare say, a devoted disciple. She transformed because she suckles the beast's own deceased blood to become what it is, a monster.
Quincy looks to Stewart for explanation of this nonsense.
We may still yet save her precious soul, but not on an empty stomach, Jack. I starve.
Stewart climbs in Van Helsing, barks to the driver. They speed away, leaving Quincy behind. He surveys the vast ground. He checks his knife and rifle, spooked.
And I think we might pause there for the evening. So I'm going to stop our recording for right now.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I have an earlier morning class to teach. So thank you so much, Catherine.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep, that's fine. We are about, let's see, where are we at here? About 2/3 of the way through. We have 100 and about 40 more pages or so to go. So, we can pick it up in 2 weeks if you like.
And it'll be a short night.
And be short.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We also still have to finish Interview with the Vampire as well, and I think
Is that in 2 weeks?
That's next Tuesday.
Is it next Tuesday?
Yeah.
Perfect.
No,
That's
next
Roger
Tuesday-
Rabbit, isn't it? Next
Yeah,
Tuesday?
next Tuesday's Roger
yeah.
Rabbit.
Interviews on the
Yeah.
show.
Interview's in here somewhere.
I'll take a look here.
I will
yeah.
not be. I'll probably not be here for the 12th,
Yeah, Roger Rabbit is in 2 weeks.
which
That's
is
right.
after.
Roger
Rabbit's next week. on the
I think
5th.
it's next week.
Is it?
Because
Oh.
this is the fifth
I
Tuesday.
can't do
so-
Roger Rabbit. I don't think.
Oh, gotcha.
I am like really I'm really excited to watch this election
Where is our schedule?
the same night.
Oh yeah, it's the same night, isn't it? Is it next week?
I am very Canadian, but oh my gosh, this election is gonna affect everyone. So.
Oh, yeah,
it
absolutely.
should make- oh my gosh. Yeah.
So
I didn't think about that when we scheduled it.
yeah, I will
Yeah.
definitely be watching that.
All
I'm
right.
a politics.
We need to review our schedule here.
Yeah, and they have to change some things around now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get out of
I
the
could do
screen
Thursday.
here and then. I can actually look.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do Thursday might work.
Yeah, Thursdays are always a nice day.
Oh, we could switch to a different day of the week. That's useful.
Yeah.
Just for
What a
now,
concept.
Except
Tuesdays
this
are
Thursday
usually
is
nice,
Halloween.
but
You're talking Thursday next week.
yes, not this Thursday.
Okay.
I'm
Let's-
planning.
No, it's Halloween this Thursday.
Yeah.
I will not be here.
No one will be
No.
here.
But like for
let's-
next week or whatever, because there's such an important election that I'm sure a lot of us want to watch. But
Yeah, I still have to get my ballot in.
yeah.
Me too. All right, let's see here. Let's take a look at our schedule.
Okay. We closed YouTube, right?
No, we have not.
Oh,
So let me take a look at that too. Here.
everyone who's watching.
Pause the recording. Yeah, we're just get some logistics here.
Have a good night, everyone, on the YouTubes.